So today is Father's Day, and my nephew reminded me. and, uh, by saying, I'm sure that you miss Grandpa. It made me think, yeah, I do. I just had a root canal, and my dad would have wanted to hear all about it and would have explained everything to me, because he was a dentist. So, we would have had many conversations about root canals. Um, But my point is that, in the teachings, they really stress the kindness of our parents, both our mother and our father, because they're the ones who gave us this body, and this body is the basis upon which we can practice the Dharma. And so just for that reason alone, then, we should appreciate our parents. Of course, on top of that, it's good to have a good relationship with them. But that takes two people to tango, as they say. But I think it's important, in our hearts to recognize the kindness of our fathers, on Father's Day, and to think of them if they're not here, to dedicate for their welfare. And if they are here, to make sure that we contact them. So this includes everybody at the Abbey. If you haven't written a card or called them or something yet, do so today. And, and let them know that you care. It's important. I once said to my dad, because this is kind of the way we express things in my family, I of course, I can't remember, it was my birthday or Father's Day or something like that. And I said, Dad, thank you very much for having me. And I'm thinking of, raising me and looking in people's mouths all day long in order so that I have food and toys and stuff like that. So I said, thank you for having me. And he said, oh, that's okay, it didn't take long. Only my dad. So, yeah, but I think it's if you don't have a good relationship with your dad, today is the day to start changing that, because it's the day where it's perfectly natural for you to contact your father, and and say something. And, if you don't have a good relationship with your dad, it's not going to get better by doing nothing. It's only going to get better if you reach out. This doesn't mean that you have to heal the whole relationship today or, hash through everything that happened in the past today. It's just a reaching out to say, you've been kind to me, and I know that, and I want you to know that I know that, and that I appreciate it. And fathers, if you don't have a good relationship with your child, if your child calls you today, open your heart. Or if they call you any other day, open your heart. Because holding grudges until death serves nobody any good. During the second retreat I did, there was a man who was older than me who met the Dharma the same time I did. And when Rinpoche visited Seattle many years ago, he received notice that John had died. And he had died in his house in Northern California. He hadn't been discovered for 3-4 days maybe. And we also found out that not long before he died, he had reconciled with one of his children that had been estranged for most of their adult life. And so I was very happy to hear that, because I'm sure it was good for his mind, and I'm sure it was good for his son or daughter's mind as well. Yeah? And so to reconcile relationships as best as we can. We can't reconcile everything just by ourselves. Again, it takes two people to tango. But from our side, to drop any kind of resentment and just appreciate them for who they are. Yeah. I spent many years being quite miserable because my parents didn't accept me because I wasn't the way they wanted me to be. And that went on until I realized that I wasn't accepting them for being the way I wanted them to be. And when I saw that, this is my non-acceptance, I had to put the whole thing down, So, and especially as your parents age, you just have to love them for who they are. That's it. You're not going to change them. But you just accept them for who they are and love them and appreciate all that they did for you, because we wouldn't be who we are today without the influence of our parents. So to really keep that in our hearts.